Good morning, friends. So I met a friend a couple of days ago, and she was really shocked seeing me. She said, "Wow, Mehek, this is an amazing transformation. How did you lose so much weight? And what kind of a fitness regime are you following?" So I just happened to tell her that I follow a lifestyle fix. I fixed my health, my lifestyle, my sleep. She was quite amazed. I was quite overwhelmed actually. I wanted to tell her everything that I did on my journey, but I felt that probably I'm not the right person to do so. So I decided to guide her to somebody that I have always looked up to, an expert in this field who helped me come on the right track with health, fitness and nutrition. He is a strength and a conditioning coach, a nutrition consultant, and a health and a lifestyle coach. It's an honor to introduce you to my mentor, Mr. Kamlesh Asavle. Welcome on board, Kamlesh. Welcome.
Thank you,
So good to have you.
It's quite ironic that this is the probably first time the guest is introducing the host.
So that's good, right?
And that's very mature of you saying that
Thank you.
you refused to share your journey.
Yes.
Not because you wanted to hold back information.
Right.
In fact, it was very mature of you saying that I'm not the sound person, I'm not the right person, I'm
True.
not the expert on it.
Correct.
What I did was on my own beliefs, right? Although it gave me results.
Yes.
But as we all know that biologically we all are different.
True.
Although we
Yes,
are
so
made
what
up of
worked for me would not work for her.
Probably,
Probably.
right?
Right.
So in your good conscience, probably would have shared your experience with her, but probably that would not have suited her.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's exactly why I didn't do it, yes.
And that's the reason I'm here. And thanks for that wonderful introduction of mine,
You're welcome.
which I would like to elaborate further.
Sure.
So not many people know what strength and conditioning coach do. They are well aware about what fitness trainers do.
True.
Right? They make them fit.
Yeah.
But with respect to my profession, it's a little further. So I coach athletes.
Wow.
Like athletes are different domain of sports.
Okay.
Now let's for an example cricketers or footballers.
Okay.
So I don't coach them for their skills.
Correct.
Their skills have been taken care by their skill coach, how to play.
Wow.
But every sports, as you know, that needs a certain level of athleticism.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I work on their speed, I work on their endurance, strength, mobility. So that ensures longevity in their sports.
Amazing.
So they become better athletes.
Athletes, yes.
So what I mean by is I work on their athleticism.
Athleticism.
As a nutrition coach, I just don't propagate nutrition plans for weight loss or for weight gain. Right? I rectify their lifestyle.
That's very important. See,
Exactly,
that
because be it malnourishment or be it obesity, it is lifestyle disorder.
Absolutely.
It's your poor eating choices.
Yes, which many
Not
of us
because-
don't know of.
Exactly, and not because people are willingly doing it, or unknowingly, because they are misled.
True.
And that's what I do. I try to educate people so that they are empowered, they are independent, and once you are both empowered and independent, you are fearless. You know your choices.
That's amazing.
Exactly, so that you know that you have taken the matter in your own hands.
In your own hands.
Thirdly, correct, what I do is, besides being strength and conditioning coach and fitness consultant and nutrition coach, when it comes to a lifestyle and health coach,
Health coach, yeah, that's what you
there
are.
are many other factors that are associated and linked with all these modern diseases. Like you said, you rectify your sleep,
Yes, very importantly, I did that.
but sleep is one aspect.
Yes.
So be it health or be it diseases, they are never based on one factor. They are multifactorial.
Multifactorial, yes.
So nutrition and exercises is a part of it.
Yes.
There are other factors also. So the time of the day you sleep, your sleep-wake cycle, to be very specific.
Yes.
More scientifically, it is called circadian rhythm.
Okay.
So that regulates your hormone. At
Wow.
what time of the day you wake up, at what time of the day you go off to sleep. Mindful meditation, mindful breathing,
Very important.
correct? So that all these environmental or social stress, which
yes.
everybody is victim of.
Oh yes, with the gadgets
Exactly.
we have around.
Absolutely, the gadgets we have around, the stresses that we have around, right? Probably the stress could be at home, domestic stress,
Yes.
or could be stress at
Work.
workplace.
Yeah.
And that's what people are fed up. So the stress levels have gone up.
Yeah, everybody's complaining of these things these days.
Absolutely, and that shows on your premature aging, not just on
Yes.
your skin.
Correct.
Correct, but your organs are also aging
Aging.
faster.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's called premature aging.
Correct.
So there are some lifestyle technique, there are some stress management technique which we all need to do.
Right.
Along with rectifying our food habits and our exercise plan.
Exercise plans. Wow.
So this is what I would say a comprehensive approach.
Wow.
So as a lifestyle and health coach, this is what I try to educate people. It's not just about eating right. It's
Eating.
not about hitting gyms every single day.
True.
It's about what other choices that you have incorporated in your life.
Yes, there's a lot of things that we have to do to fix this one problem.
Absolutely.
It cannot be just one approach that
like
we
I
take.
said,
Like
not one
not just
single
going to the
factor.
gym.
Absolutely. Not one single factor is going to make you obese or it's going to make you sick.
Sick.
There are multi-factors.
True.
So like I said, it is multifactorial.
Right.
And that's what we need to inculcate those habits. We need to wipe out our old habits and form new.
New habits. Yes, that's
Because
very
finally
important.
habits are what they define.
Are going to, yeah, they're going to make you. True, true. So tell me, why do you think we need another series of, videos where what we should eat and how we should exercise? You don't think there are enough fitness gurus already in the market or on the scene?
I agree. There are many fitness experts out there.
Yeah.
Right. But the need is of the era. It's of the time.
True.
And that's because nearly half of the population like, in the world, including our own country,
Yes.
you'll see that they are getting fat, they are
Right.
getting sick.
Right.
It's not just about the rampant obesity.
Correct. Right.
Along with obesity, even the associated metabolic disorders, or I would say the modern lifestyle disorders, people they say, including your heart diseases, correct, cancer,
Very, very common.
exactly, diabetes,
Oh, very common.
correct,
Yes.
organ failures, autoimmune diseases, even your mental health ailments,
Yes.
including depression,
Yes.
or even in children, correct, you see ADHD, so attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Okay.
So you see that it's not just about obesity, it's about the concomitant metabolic disorders which are rampant, which are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's widespread.
In all the
And it's
houses.
ever rising.
It's rising. Yes, yes.
right? And
That's
not
a concern.
because people want them. It's because unfortunately they're being misled.
Yeah. Or not aware of the right
Absolutely.
information, right?
Absolutely. They're not aware of the right information.
Yes.
So we need another series of videos because although healthcare experts or fitness consultant or let's say nutrition consultant, they all are doing their best. Correct?
Absolutely.
In their best interest,
Absolutely.
correct,
In
to
the best
educate
interest.
people, to
Yes.
help people to cure diseases, correct? To make them lean, to make them fit, so that it ensures longevity.
Longevity.
And they live fearless.
True, true. That's the
But
motive.
you know what? Exactly, something is going wrong.
Yeah.
Because if that was so true, right? Despite their honest effort,
Yes.
correct, to cure diseases,
Yes.
we are getting fatter.
Why?
Why? And it's a classic phenomena.
Yes.
So probably, correct, we need to accept the fact that we might be wrong.
Right.
So no person on this planet, correct, is willingly and intentionally trying to harm you, is trying to give you wrong advices. But what if where I learned from, let's say as a nutritionist, correct, the nutrition schools that taught me, they could have been wrong,
Possible, yeah.
possibly, yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
That's what one of my favorite authors said once, that science was never wrong, but science could be wrong. So my interpretation of science could be different than you. And what I interpret correct, is what I'm going to propagate.
Okay.
So you see that every health fitness expert, right, propagates his or her way of thinking.
Thinking, yes.
Now let's say you as a victim of obesity or diseases, you look for help, right?
Right.
And when you look for help, you either go on internet, you either look for a friend
True.
or an expert,
Or an expert, yes.
right? But you also get confused. That's the reason, because you are fed up with all the possible diseases that you have. You are not getting enough answers,
Yes.
and
that's
you are
exactly what
constantly
happened.
questioning yourself, and you are frustrated at the end. And that is what people are. And that's the reason they seek help. They look forward to someone who probably would set them free from their traps.
Yeah.
But that is not happening.
Not happening.
Because unfortunately there is no consensus among fitness experts.
True.
So one day we are told, eat fruits, they are healthy. The other day, correct, we are told that fruits are bad. Some says eat oil-free food. And next day, correct, we come to know that, correct,
Yeah.
fats are good.
Fats are good. True.
So the point is, this is just about nutrition. These are like amongst many, many misconceptions. These are a few.
Few of them.
With respect to exercises, let's say if you want to lose weight or if you want to improve your physical preparedness so that you become more functional in your daily life, then somebody would say, Zumba is good. Somebody would say that spinning is
Yeah,
good.
one thing works for one, doesn't work for the other.
The CrossFit community will say that, correct? CrossFit is better than other
Yes.
exercises.
Yes.
Or the functional training community will say that
We are
functional
the
training
best.
is better than we are the best. Exactly.
Yes.
So everybody is trying to propagate their
Propagate
own
their-
set of beliefs. Now, science is a place where there is no scope for beliefs. Your belief could be wrong. Your belief could be right. It could be right, correct, if it is proven scientifically. Are you getting my point?
Yes, I'm getting your point. So coming to this, with all due respect, Kamlesh, why should me or the viewers believe you?
This bright smile on my face, that says all, because
Yes.
I need to thank you for being so blatantly honest, right? Because I propose my viewers, including you, to question me. Because
Absolutely,
I could
that's
be
why
one
we are
of
here.
them. I could be spreading misinformation.
True.
Right? So this actually gives me an opportunity to appeal to my viewers and my audience that it's a disclaimer, I would say that.
Yeah.
And the disclaimer states that, see, I'm not a scientist.
True.
Who has devoted his life, entire life, in the laboratory to learn more about human metabolism, how it functions.
How it functions.
Correct?
Yes.
So I'm not one of them. I'm just an interpreter, correct, who have understood the laws of biology, which are equivalent to empirical truth. Now, let's say, before you could trust me, correct, I'll ask you, we learned a lot of things from textbook.
Absolutely.
We learned from pure sciences.
Yes.
Now, let's say we are drinking water. Correct? It contains H2O.
Yes.
But have you gone in the laboratory and tested that, does it contain H2O? Have you done that?
No.
No, but you believe it.
Obviously, because we were taught that. Yes.
Exactly. Now, with respect to, let's say, the earth revolving around sun, what was the popular belief, correct, up until Galileo proved that? So till 16th century, we all believed that it's the sun that revolves around Earth, because that is what we see from naked eye.
Visually. Yes, yes, correct.
The sun rises from one end,
yes,
sets to the another.
To the other end, true.
Exactly. Now, one person stands up and questions your conventional wisdom. It was Galileo.
True. I remember that in school.
We all
yes.
know that what happened with him. Although his theory was right, but he was expelled. He was thrown out of the society.
True.
He was hanged.
Yes.
So the need of the era, why you should trust me, because the theories that I'm going to propose correct, in my videos, they are not my own opinions. Because like I said earlier, my opinions could be right, my opinions could be wrong.
Absolutely.
So the theories are not made up by me, the theories are not my own concoction. These theories are based on laws of biology, laws of physiology. And these laws, correct, are being extensively researched by the scientists. And the reason I like to follow them, it's because they are not funded by food and pharmaceutical companies. They are independent researchers, which is extremely, I would like to highlight that point.
Wow.
Because if you are funded by someone, correct, your findings could be biased.
Could be biased, yes. You could
So
be
let's say
citing
if
one
you,
company.
correct, are a tobacco manufacturing company.
Obviously, I'll promote
correct, I'm
them.
a scientist, then probably I might say that my research would indicate that smoking one cigarette a day is not that harmful.
Correct.
Moderation is the key. We all have heard that.
Yes.
Haven't we?
Yes.
See, so my goal, correct, is to present all these biological facts to people, correct, which are extensively proven, which are evidence based, and that's the reason I also propose my viewers to be critical and to keep an open mind. So whenever I say something, correct, whether I suggest something, question me, question themselves. Because I'm not going to be sitting here and giving my own opinions. So I'll give them references, I'll give them links
that they can refer to.
But exactly. So they themselves can.
And it's proven research.
Absolutely. So they themselves can verify it.
True.
Wow. So I don't need validation from someone else. Science needs validation, correct, but that through research.
Yes, true.
Which are extensively proven.
Superb.
Right, so that's my disclaimer.
Wow, this is an honest disclaimer and the most honest appeal I have heard, Kamlesh. Thank you.
Absolutely, because that's the need of the era.
Yes. So you know, Kamlesh, I have been exercising for over a decade now, and I have been dieting also, trying to look very lean and healthy, and I was advised to exercise regularly, go to the gym, don't eat fat food, don't eat oily stuff. But somehow it just, I don't know, it just never fitted it in, or maybe I was not doing it the right way. I had the willpower to do it, I was hitting the gym, I was doing everything, but somehow I was just not getting those results. So what was going wrong? I mean, can you help on that?
I reckon with what you say. In fact, even I was one of them. So I was fed up with the kind of practices I followed in the past. I'm talking about 12 to 15 years back.
Right.
So before I decided to equip my own self, correct, with the right knowledge. That's one of the reasons I dove into this field.
Correct.
So I learned on my own, correct, and decided to take the matter in my own hands.
True.
Now I totally resonate with what you said. That eat less, move more approach.
Yes, everybody's talking about it.
Absolutely. And this is called the CICO theory.
Okay.
It stands for CICO.
CICO.
Yes, it means calories in, calories out.
Okay.
And it does make sense to most of the people. Correct. And why does it make sense? I'll probably prove it to you. Now, World Health Organization, it says the same thing.
Correct.
It says that if you eat more calories than you expend,
Right.
you are in surplus. So that's called positive energy.
True.
And that's the reason whatever is surplus, you'll try to store it.
Oh, okay.
Which means if you eat more than your requirements,
Right.
or if you more than what you
Expend.
you will store it.
True.
And
As fat.
Exactly. And conversely, right, if you expend more than what you eat,
I'll
or
lose
if you
weight.
eat less than what you expend, you create a deficit, and that
Right.
will lose weight.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
So does it make sense to you?
It makes sense to me, yes. But then again, it is like, so see, I used to always be like hungry. And more than hungry, I was angry. Like, hangry. So I couldn't really even think clearly. And I was wondering what exactly was going wrong with what I was doing. I was eating less, moving more, but somehow it just didn't fit in. Like you explained the CICO theory right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you followed the theory to the T. You got the results in the beginning. of
Correct,
course,
correct.
But later on, it wasn't sustainable.
Yes, that's my point. It wasn't.
Exactly.
I was
You
not getting the
started
right
feeling
word.
Cold. You started
Yes.
feeling, let's
I
say,
couldn't think.
irritated. You couldn't think clearly.
Mind was getting
That was
fogged.
purely because, Mehak, you deprived yourself.
Ah, got it.
So that was called correct nutrition deprivation.
All
So when
right.
you eat less and when you move more, what you're doing is you are providing less fuel to the body. Yes, your
Okay.
body will burn correct excess fuel.
Okay.
You will start losing weight in the beginning.
Okay.
But at the same time, you're not sure what you're losing. Are you losing fat or are you losing your vital organs?
Yes.
Now, let's say food is supposed to make us healthy. Food is supposed to make us
Absolutely,
energetic.
absolutely.
Food is supposed to make us feel lively. throughout the day.
Yes, yes.
But despite eating, let's say, so-called
Yes.
diet food,
Yes.
yet, correct, you are not able to think clearly.
No.
You are lazy most of the
Very
time.
lazy, yes.
And agitated.
Very yes.
So you followed their advice to the T.
To the T.
Now the point is, you've been fighting the wrong enemy, like most of the people. So it's a fight against obesity. But correct, obesity is not the question of how much calories you take in and how much you spend. If that was so true, if we have to burn more calories, correct, in order to be in deficit, then an average person, correct, eats 3 times a day,
Yes.
breakfast, lunch and
Yes.
dinner. So that is equivalent to what? You eat and you spend if you want to be in the deficit.
So
an
you're
average
telling me
person
that-
will have to exercise 3 times a day.
Exactly. I was just
Now
coming
some
to that.
people probably who are advised to eat maybe 6 times a day, every after 2 hours. Now imagine every after 2 hours they eat and they have to spend another half an hour to expend
To
those
expend
calories.
those calories.
Correct? Either to maintain their weight or to be in deficit to lose
Deficit.
weight.
Yes. Now
it
I'm
is-
getting the
This
point.
approach is absolutely nonsensical, and the reason why this is nonsensical, this is called law of thermodynamics. What I explained to you: energy in, energy out.
Yes, energy.
So surplus will create deposition, and deficit, correct, will clear withdrawal.
Withdrawal.
So you either gain weight or lose weight.
True.
But the point is, as per the laws of biology, which will give you the right answer, there are receptors for hormone inside us. So every cell of human body, correct, carry receptors which are mitigated by hormones.
Oh.
So I would say that hormones regulate our cells, regulate our body, regulate
Okay.
our functions,
Okay.
regulate our metabolism.
Yes.
There are no calorie receptors inside us. There is no inbuilt calculator.
Oh, there's a lot of science, huh?
If calories were true, if calories make you fat, then I would say that a cup of broccoli or a cup of spinach, which we all through consensus know that it is healthy. Now let's say if that one cup of green leafy vegetable, it provides you 100 calories, so as maybe 1 cup of sugar, which is equivalent to 100 calories.
Yes.
Now do you think that both calories are equal?
No.
Absolutely. So what I'm going to propose, correct, is every cell in the human body, correct, is regulated by hormones.
Okay.
And fat cells, correct, what we are battling with, they are no exception to this biological rule.
Fat cells. Wow. Okay. So does it mean that? So what exactly, according to you, is the hormone that is making us fat?
Absolutely. So before I go into this hormonal model of obesity, right, or which hormone is responsible for you to become fat, let me elaborate more about how kids grow. We all have seen, correct, that the infants become toddlers, toddlers becomes teenagers.
Correct.
Now they grow because of there is a regulatory hormone called growth hormone,
Yes.
which is secreted by our brain.
Yes.
Now there is a relation between growth hormone and the bones, correct, which grow taller. So just slight more anatomy to it. The mid portion of the bone is called diaphysis and the end phase is called epiphysis.
Okay.
And there are receptors around that end portion
Right.
called epiphyseal plates, or in layman's term they are known as growth plates. Those are nothing but receptors.
Receptors.
So hormone is the commander.
Okay.
So growth hormone commands growth, and this command is being obeyed by these receptors, and that's how we grow taller.
Oh.
So growth, since we are talking about obesity, is growth of fat cells. This one example will illustrate you that growth is monitored by hormones.
Okay.
Now the question is, we as adults, we are also releasing growth hormone, but why we are not growing taller? And the reason being we are not growing taller, that's because the growth plates which receives that signal, they are shut. So that's called, correct, epiphyseal closure.
Okay.
Which means although the hormone is shouting at the top of the voice that please grow, but yet our bones are not growing because there is nothing, someone on the other hand to receive it.
Right.
So the receptors are shut. So that's your growth mechanism. Second is, we see the kids, we see teenagers changing their physical characteristics.
Correct.
Right. So on the onset of puberty, so they start developing secondary sexual characteristics. So deepening of voice, growth of facial hair, growth of body hair.
Yes.
Right. So these features you associated with boys.
Right.
So that's called sexual maturity. Now this is being purely regulated by sex hormones. So testosterone, estrogen, progesterone.
Correct.
And that's why girls, correct, their breast development starts.
True.
They start menstruating.
True.
Right?
True.
And which means, correct, now they are eligible for reproduction. Do you agree with me?
I agree with you
Absolutely.
on that.
Their physical structure
Yes,
also
yes,
changes. They start
absolutely.
depositing fat more around the feminine side, like hips and thighs.
True.
So these growth factors, correct, are being regulated by hormones. Now, like I said, correct, every cell is being regulated by hormone, and fat cell is no exception to it.
Right.
Now, you asked me about which hormone is responsible for fat cell metabolism.
Yes.
Now, there are multiple.
Because we want to find the enemy, right?
Exactly. We want to fight the enemy. Now, there is one hormone called insulin, A, and there are other counter-regulatory hormones which I'll elaborate. Correct?
Okay.
Glucagon, growth hormones, adrenaline. There are many, but out of all of these hormones, the main hormone that regulates your fat metabolism, correct, is insulin.
So you're saying insulin makes us fat.
Don't jump to conclusion so soon. No?
You just said it.
No, I just said it. I said that insulin is responsible for you to become fat.
Okay, it's
I didn't mean
responsible.
that.
All right.
It
all
is
right.
responsible.
Yes.
Now, before I could go into how excess insulin or chronically elevated insulin makes you fat, right? First of all, I would like to say that insulin is quite critical for the health. It is extremely essential.
Okay.
No, I can see some frowning on your face.
Yes, because
the reason because
by
you
this-
might consider that is insulin our friend or is
Exactly.
it
That
our
was just coming to my mind. Is it our enemy or is it my friend?
It's a friend.
How should I take insulin as?
Exactly. Now you should take your insulin as your friend, your ally. And like I
Okay.
said, why? Because it is extremely critical for one reason. The prime role of insulin in the human body is to transport nutrients. So whatever food you eat, now let's say you eat first class protein sources, correct, which are
Okay.
essential for growth,
Correct.
right? You eat essential fatty acids,
True.
you eat vitamins, minerals, you eat
True.
fiber.
True.
Now every nutrient, correct, called as macronutrient and micronutrients, these nutrients need to be transported to the cell.
True.
So what our digestive system will do, it will just break down food, but that food needs to be transported to each and every cell. And that is
Right.
being regulated by insulin.
Insulin.
So if there is no insulin, correct, you wouldn't grow.
Wow.
You will die. And that's one of the reason type 1 diabetics, correct, they die out of starvation. Despite eating, correct, 4 times or 6 times a day.
There's no insulin.
There is no insulin. And that's one of the reason in 1921, Sir Frederick Banting, so he invented insulin. And he was awarded Nobel, correct, in 1923
All
for the
right.
research of insulin. Because as soon as he started injecting insulin in children, correct, whose body don't produce or whose pancreas don't produce insulin, to be very specific, they started gaining muscle mass.
Right.
So forget about obesity, correct? You start losing everything what you have, your bones, your muscles, your fat, and you look extremely emaciated. You look extremely malnourished in the absence of insulin. So what does it tell you? Insulin is friend
my friend.
or enemy?
Yes,
it's your
it's my friend.
Exactly. But unfortunately, because of our lifestyle choices, because of our food habits, we turn our friend into our enemy.
Enemy, yes.
And how? Now, you all agree with me, or you will also agree with me, that rainfall is necessary for life.
Absolutely.
But what if the rainfall is unstoppable? it will turn into flood.
Yes.
It will take lives.
It will take lives. Yeah. It will
Now,
destroy nature.
Exactly. So it's the overflow phenomena.
Yes.
So rainfall is our friend that keeps us alive.
Correct.
But flood takes our life.
It's the same water.
So what's
yes.
the difference? It's the same water.
Yes.
But in other phenomena, on the other spectrum, it is what? It's the overflows phenomena.
Ah.
Now let me present my case to you why excess insulin or overflowing insulin, correct, makes you fat. Like I said, insulin regulates your fat metabolism.
Correct.
Every fat cell, correct, it carries receptors on its surface.
True.
Now consider that to be like your door.
Right. Right.
Right? Now there is receptor called LPL.
LPL.
That stands for lipoprotein lipase,
Okay.
which allows your energy to come in,
Okay.
which is simply like a doorkeeper.
Right.
And on the other hand of the fat cell, there is another receptor called HSL.
Okay.
That stands for hormone sensitive lipase. Now these two receptors, they regulate entry and exit.
Exit. Okay.
What I mean by that, LPL regulates deposition of the energy
Right.
and HSL regulates withdrawal of the energy.
Okay.
So as the energy comes in, I'm talking about fat cells right now. If the energy comes in and if the energy keeps coming in and in, the fat cell will grow in size. That simply means what? You're growing fat.
Yes.
And if the energy is being withdrawn, it's like the balloon is now inflated.
Inflated.
So earlier it was inflated, became big. As the energy got withdrawn,
Withdrawn.
correct, it is deflated.
Wow.
So the fat doesn't melt, the fat doesn't burn. It simply grows in size. It's called anabolism, growth.
Growth.
And it simply loses or shrinks in size. It's called catabolism. Therefore, insulin is called anabolic hormone.
Got it.
Because after its invention, correct, kids who suffered through type 1 diabetic, they started gaining weight. And gaining weight in the right areas. They started gaining bone density. They started gaining their organs back. They started gaining muscles.
Right.
So what I mean by insulin is anabolic. Anabolism is growth. So anything that promotes growth is anabolic.
Wow.
Right? Now, this particular hormone, insulin, how do they regulate or how does it regulate these receptors? So when your blood insulin levels are extremely elevated, like I explained about the flood.
Yes.
What I mean by that flood is when your insulin levels are above baseline. So when your insulin levels are at baseline, it functions like rainfall. What I mean by that, it functions like rainfall is it transports nutrient and it keeps you alive, energetic, and it ensures longevity. But when the same baseline insulin goes exceedingly high, that's called flood. Now this chronically elevated insulin, what it does, this insulin activates LPL receptor. Now what is LPL receptor? It regulates entry.
True, you just explained.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now when insulin levels are extremely elevated, LPL is activated, which opens the door. So the energy keeps coming
in, right.
Sadly, it not only makes you fat, but at the same time, correct, on the other hand, HSL, which is the exit point, is blocked. So it's a two-way sword.
Oh, this is complex.
Exactly, because once insulin goes high, entry is activated and exit is inhibited.
True.
So which means in simple terms, you are gaining fat at the same time you are halting your fat loss. Both cannot happen at the same time.
Cannot happen at the same time.
Now there are counter-regulatory hormones which I mentioned earlier, correct, like cortisol, glucagon, noradrenaline, growth hormones. They are designed or they are kept inside to counter-regulate the effect of insulin, which I'll elaborate. Now, like you said, it was amazing. It was amazing to know that how complex the body is.
Yes.
And did I make it simple to you to understand what obesity is?
Yes, actually, it is a complex process, but like the revelations that you just made really have cleared my doubts on what exactly was happening in my body. See, we are always doing things on the external sources. We are never really understanding what is happening in the internal.
Absolutely.
So that clarity is amazing.
What we are targeting right now, Mehak, is the root cause of obesity.
Correct.
Right? Once you know how to regulate your hormones. Right? Because that's where the process starts. So it's pretty simple. Hormone regulates your cells. And who regulates hormone? Food and your lifestyle choices.
Right.
So what I'm going to elaborate in my next video is the food and lifestyle choices that slowly makes you sick and fat.
Right.
And once you know the prime reason, once you know the root cause, okay, these are the food groups, these are the lifestyle choices. Correct. Which unknowingly I was told or unknowingly I've been following for years.
Oh yes, I've done that.
Is making me sick and fat.
True.
Now all I have to do is take the matter into my own hands because I know the biological process.
True.
Like you rightly said that the process is quite complex.
Yes.
I do agree with it, but it is not complicated. The reason it is not complicated because I have understood it. as a man of science.
True.
And that's the reason I could convey this message to you, although
Yes.
it was complex, but it wasn't complicated.
Yes, yes. You
It
did
made
explain it to
sense
me,
you.
yes, because
And
you
it will
explained it to me in
definitely
my
make sense
terms.
to my viewers and my audience that although these laws of biology are complex, but
They're not
if you have, if you have interpreted it in the right way, it would be easier for me to convey and educate people.
Yes.
And why do I have to educate people? Like, I had taken matters in my own hand, correct, 12 years back,
Right.
and started looking after my own health.
Yes.
I have decided to educate people around me.
That's amazing.
Exactly,
That's a
because
social
people
cause.
are victim,
Yes.
right? And victim, unfortunately, are blaming their own self. They are blaming their own willpower.
just like what I did.
Like you said in the beginning.
10 years I've done it.
So you are blaming your willpower, correct? Since you said that it wasn't sustainable,
Yes.
the lifestyle choices which you
Yes,
had ingrained
yes,
earlier.
yes.
So you started questioning your own willpower,
Absolutely.
which is absolutely wrong. So you know what? It's the victim, correct, who is blaming himself, and someone else is guilty.
True. We need to find the real enemy.
Exactly. And again, like I said, I reiterate my fact that it is not that the baseline insulin, correct, is our enemy. So I go back to my previous example. Normal rainfall is necessary to sustain life.
True.
Baseline insulin level is needed to sustain life.
True.
But like the flood, correct, kills people. Similarly, it's the overexposure of
Sure of
insulin.
insulin. Wow.
And in the next video, what I'm going to elaborate is what food group and lifestyle, like I said, correct, it keeps your insulin level quite highly elevated.
Wow. I think that's going to be a very interesting video, Kamlesh.
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to that one. So I think we'll end this video here.
Exactly. The reason I want to end this video here because I don't want to bombard too much information at once.
Yes, yes. We'd
you
like to
rightly
grasp
said,
it
see, you've
nicely.
been with me for about 2 years.
Yes, it's about 2 years since
That's
I
what
know
I'm
you.
saying, and that's the reason you could understand these biological terms.
Yes, yes.
But I want my audience to have enough time so that they can cross-check this information. Yes, first of all,
and
they have to
validate
process.
it. True, to process it very importantly.
So they can go back to the video, they can watch it again and again.
Yes,
Correct?
understand what you're
they
saying.
could learn these terms, LPL, HSL, insulin.
True.
Correct, this counter-regulatory hormones, what it means by.
Wow.
So this hormonal model of obesity, what we are trying to do is we are trying to debunk, we are trying to refute the caloric model of obesity. Although the law of thermodynamics does play a role.
Right.
But you also got convinced
Yes,
that 100
yes.
calories coming from sugar and 100
Yes.
calories coming from
Broccoli.
green leafy vegetables. They are not equal, although the numbers are equal.
Numbers are equal.
So again, I repeat my fact, there are no calorie receptors inside us. Every cell in your body is designed with receptors which are activated by hormones.
Lovely.
And that's what, if you see my bio on Instagram, it says, eat to control hormones and not to control calories.
Oh, that's interesting.
Exactly.
I'm going to share your Instagram handle also with our viewers.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I appeal to my audience that keep your mind open, keep your mind critical.
Yes.
Question what I say.
Yes.
And cross-check what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not going to sit here, correct, with my own opinions. Like I said, I'm going to provide references to it.
Yes.
So
I think that itself proves your authenticity.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Correct. In order to be authentic. Correct.
Right.
See, I like my mentors, the mentors which I'm going to mention them.
Right.
So these mentors, correct, their conscience actually slapped them in their face when they could no longer heal their patients.
Really, huh?
Exactly. So they were nephrologists, they were endocrinologists, they were cardiologists, correct? They were oncologists.
And I'm sure they must be big names.
Exactly. So I'm talking about big names. I'm talking about people who've been practicing for 2 decades, 20, 25 years. And despite that, correct, they accepted the fact that their primary healthcare technique is not helping people. They're simply delaying death. They're simply keeping people alive on medicines. Because there is no cure. There is no prevention. And that's the reason they decided to dive into literature.
Wow.
And figure out the alternative therapy, which should be the prime therapy.
Should have been the prime therapy, coming to that.
Otherwise
right?
that.
True, true.
Now, correct, people often say that prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
But what we are doing right now, our healthcare system is talking about cure.
Cure.
Right? But nobody is talking about prevention.
Exactly.
Now, once a person is diabetic or once a person is diagnosed with hypertension, how often do you meet people who say that I had diabetes or I had
Nobody.
hypertension?
Everybody has.
Correct.
They're still
And
not
it's progressive.
progressive, yeah.
From
It's
1
growing.
pill they go to 2, 2 to 3.
True.
So they feel that it's a progressive disease and we are helpless.
Also,
And
generations are carrying it on.
exactly. And then, correct, next generation will say that, we inherited.
Yes,
It's
my
in our
parents had
genes.
it.
That's because your lifestyle was the same.
As your parents.
Now, all these factors, all these metabolic diseases are not infectious diseases. These are not autoimmune disorders.
Correct.
These are not fault in DNA.
True.
These are simply derived because of your poor lifestyle choices. So once you rectify your overall comprehensive lifestyle, then the diseases will reverse.
Oh.
So my next videos in the series of this obesity and how to fight it is going to elaborate the science behind how to reverse it.
Wow.
But yes, before that, correct, I would love to elaborate more on this hormonal model of obesity. That what hormones influence obesity and what makes you lean.
Wow. So are we going to discuss this on our next video?
Absolutely,
You're going to have
yes.
some great
Absolutely,
content,
yes.
I'm
So
sure,
that's
for
where
us.
I end my discussion today. So
Okay.
that next video, correct, will elaborate on what where we ended.
That's going to be amazing. That's going to be a great continuation to what we just talked about.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Kamlesh. Thank you so much for having us on board.
It was pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So guys, I hope you all have enjoyed this beautiful and informative conversation with Kamlesh Asavale. Please do show him some love on YouTube. It's his new channel. It's called Athletic Sapien, and we shall be sharing the links in the thread below. Also, I would like to share his Instagram handle, which is Kamlesh Asavale. Please feel free to write your comments, good or bad. Everything is welcome. After all, we are here for an interaction. Thank you. Till then, until we have our next video on, be happy, be calm, and most importantly, be fit. Bye-bye. So it was really great to have this conversation with you.